Hello everyone, welcome to the board exam preparation series. I am Atulya, working as a biology faculty at Orchids, the International School. In this video, we are going to discuss about the previous year question from the chapter Control and Coordination. If you see the weightage of chapter, you can see that Control and Coordination chapter having 6 mark weightage. That means this chapter consists of 6 mark and you will get in your board exam 6 mark question from this chapter. So now we need to see the different question from the chapter. Before going to start the questions, I need to tell you something. In this chapter, mainly we are focusing on 2 topics. One is nervous system area neuron and the second one is endocrine system. If you see the previous year board question paper, mainly these 2 topics are coming from the chapter and you can easily get the full score. That means total 6 mark, you can easily score it from this chapter. So let's see the different types of question from the chapter. So our first question, which is asked in 2019 as well as in 2024, and this question is carrying 5 mark. So here you can see that the question carry 5 mark. This question is carrying 5 mark and it is repeatedly asked question. Similar type of the same in the same area, the similar type of question is came for 2 mark also and 3 mark also. So let's see the first question. The question is draw a diagram of neuron and name and label the parts. So, what all are the parts you need to label? It is given as A, B, C option. A option is where information is acquired. That means when you are drawing neuron diagram, you need to label A part, which is as where is the information is acquired in the neuron area. Now, B question is through which information travels as an electrical impulse. So here it is mentioned that where in the neuron the electrical impulses is traveling through which part. So that also you need to label. And the third area of this question is where is the electrical impulse must be converted into chemical signal for onward transmission. So these 3 questions asked to label in the neuron diagram. So just start with the first diagram, neuron. So when you are drawing the neuron diagram, you need to see that neuron diagram is a very simplest diagram in this chapter. You can easily draw the diagram also. So let's see the diagram. When you are drawing the diagram, you can see that this area, the important part of the neuron, which is consist of nucleus, that you need to draw it properly. After that, a long chain is coming and this chain is covered by a sheath also. I think now everybody's mind, the question came and also neurons diagram is already came in your mind. Now, first, we will wind up with the diagram. So, diagram will be like this. So, this is the diagram of neuron. Here some branches, small branches will come. Okay, so this is a structure of neuron. Now, the thing is we need to label answers of A, B, C. That means 3 questions we need to label first. So, before that we will label all the things that will be better for your exam. So, this area is cell body. The nucleus containing part of the neuron, which is known as cell body, and this is known as dendrite. And this is nucleus. And this long tube or long chain which is coming or arising from the cell body, which is known as axon. And axon is covered by a sheath, a protective sheath. We can call this structure as myelin sheath. And here you can see that this tip we will call as nerve ending. or otherwise we can call it as axon terminal. So these all are the important parts of neuron. I think neuron structure is came in your mind. Now move to the ABC question. So where information is acquired. In the case of neuron, when the information for any signals come from the atmosphere or from the external environment, the neuron's first part which is acquiring the information, which is dendrite. So answer of the A question, where information is acquired, that is A part, that means A I mentioned here, which is dendrite. Now second question is, through which information travel as an electrical impulse. When the dendrite receive the information, what will happen mean the information is going to the cell body. After that the information is go through the long tube which is known as axon. So it is moving in the form of electrical impulses. So answer of B question is, the electrical impulse is traveling through the neuron through the long body or a long chain which is known as axon. So answer of B is axon. Now third one, where is the electrical impulse must be converted into the chemical signal for onward transmission. We know that neuron, in the case of neuron, when they are carrying the electrical impulses, that impulse need to travel through the different types of neuron. That means adjacent neuron will be there, very nearest neuron will be there, and from one neuron to another neuron it should be transmitted. So how this transmission is possible? How it is possible mean through the axon, when electrical impulses is traveling, that time at the tip of axon, which we can call it as nerve ending or axon terminal, in that area this electrical impulse is converting into chemical form. So the answer of the C question is, where the electrical impulse must be converting to chemical signal for onward transmission, which is nerve ending, or otherwise we can call it as axon terminal. So answer of C question is axon terminal, or otherwise we can call it as nerve ending. So when you see this one, you can see the answer here also. See, it's a neuron part, neuron body, and you can see that this is cell body, and cell body you can see the dendrite. Here dendrite you can see, dendrite part you can see, and the nucleus you can see, and here axon, the long chain axon is given, and myelin sheath which is protecting the long chain axon, and axon terminal and Schwann cell also mentioned. But mainly you need to focus on the three question answer, that is A, B, C question is given. So what you need to do mean, after labeling the important part, you need to mention, you need to specify what is the answer of A. So answer of A is dendrite. That means dendrite is acquiring the information first in the case of neuron body. Now second one is B answer, which is axon, that is where through which area the electrical impulse is traveling. So through the long chain axon only the electrical impulse is traveling. Now third question, that means C question is in which area of neuron the electrical impulse is converting into chemical form, which is axon terminal. In the axon terminal the chemical signal will form, otherwise electrical impulse will converted into chemical signal in the axon terminal. After that that chemical signal is releasing to the junction between two neuron, otherwise junction between this neuron and the adjacent neuron, that junction we can call it as synapse. So these all idea it should come in your mind now. I think you got the answer of A, B, C question. This question carries 5 mark. How it is carrying 5 mark mean, for diagram you will get 2 mark, and for labeling 3 answer of the question in the diagram you will get 3 marks also. So total 5 marks. So moving to the second question. So the second question is question number 2, and it is asked in 2024 for 2 mark, and the similar question you will see in 2023 paper also and 22 paper also. Similar kind of question you can see. Now the question is, there is a hormone which regulates carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism in our body. Name the hormone and gland which secretes it. Why it is important for us to have iodized salt in our diet. So this question having 3 areas. This is a 2-mark question. So when you see the question, you can see that 3 areas there in the same question. First one is asked that what is the hormone which regulate, or which hormone is regulating carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. So hormone name you need to mention. So that part carries half mark. And second is name the hormone, and second part of that question, and the gland which secretes it. So gland also you need to mention. That means what is the hormone, or which hormone is doing the function, that is metabolism of carbohydrate, protein and fat. And second one is from which gland this hormone is secreting. So this area consists of 1 mark, half mark for each, for giving the name of the hormone for half mark, and giving the right answer for the gland name also half mark. So 1 mark part. And second part of that question, same question, second part of that question is, why is it important for us to have iodized salt? That means iodine rich salt, why we need to include in our diet. So this I think this question is familiar with you, because I think all are now in a time that almost revised all the chapter in this in the entire NCERT textbook. I think you already got the answer. So anyway, let's discuss the answer. So first one is hormone name. Which hormone is helping for the metabolism of protein, fat and carbohydrate? So hormone which is doing this function, that is thyroxine. The hormone name is thyroxine. So I think you got the name of the hormone. This area, this entire question is a part of endocrine system, and thyroxine is a hormone. Their function is it is controlling the metabolism of carbohydrate, protein and fat. Now second part is gland. So which gland is secreting this hormone? Thyroxine is secreting from the gland which is known as thyroid gland. What is the gland name? It is thyroid gland. So gland name is thyroid gland, and thyroid gland is secreting the hormone thyroxine. So that time I think you got the location also in your mind. Thyroid gland is situating in our neck region. In the neck region, this endocrine gland, the gland which is releasing the hormone, we can call them as endocrine gland. So thyroid gland is one of the endocrine glands from present in our body. So thyroid gland is releasing the hormone thyroxine. So now if you get these 2 answers in your mind, you will get 1 mark. That means half mark for each one. So correctly mentioning the hormone name and correctly mentioning the gland name, you will get half mark for each. Now next question is, next part of this question is, why is it important for us to have iodized salt in our diet? Why we are, otherwise whenever we having some problem, some any disturbance in our body and all, maybe sometimes we will consult a doctor. That time doctor sometimes suggesting us, okay, you need to include your in your diet the iodine rich food items or iodized salt and all. What is the reason behind it? I think the answer came in everyone's mind. So answer is iodine. Iodine means the iodized salt contain iodine. Iodine is very important. Iodine is very, very important for the thyroxine synthesis. Otherwise, the thyroid gland will not be able to secrete if iodine is not present in your body. So, if your body need to do all the metabolism process of the mentioned nutrients and all, your body need thyroxine. For thyroxine synthesis, the body need to have the enough amount of iodine. So, without the iodine, body can't synthesize which hormone, which is thyroxine, and if the thyroxine is not present in your body, what will happen mean your body can't do different types of activities such as metabolic process and your mental development, brain development, muscle development, these kinds of problem will come. So let's see the correct answer now. See, if you see the answer, it is point wise, it is mentioned. You can see 4 points are mentioned. It's a 2-mark question. So, at least 4 points you need to write. Now, the hormone which regulate carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism in our body, which is thyroxine. You can see here thyroxine, and thyroxine hormone is secreted by the gland, thyroid gland. So hormone name as well as the gland name is mentioned. Now the part was why we need to include iodine salt in our diet. So answer is iodine salt in the diet is important because it contains iodine, which is essential for the synthesis of thyroxine hormone. So if iodine it is not there in your body, the problem which I said it will come, and that problem is causing a condition or the disease which is known as goiter. What is the condition known as goiter? What will happen mean, if your body doesn't have the enough amount of iodine, then that time thyroid gland will not able to produce thyroxine. So what will happen mean, the thyroid gland become little swollen. That swollen condition or the disease is known as goiter. So you will affect with the goiter if your body is not able to produce enough amount of thyroxine. So deficiency of thyroxine content in your body or will cause goiter. So that also you can mention in your answer. So this way you need to write the different, you need to approach and you need to write the different question, and this question contains 2 marks. So shall we move to the next question now? So let's see the next question now. The question is our third question. The third question is asked in 2017, it is asked in 2018 also, 2020 also, and also 2023 also. So this question now I think everybody got that the importance of this question, and this question carries, you can see the question weightage also. This question carries 5 mark. It's a 5 mark question. You can this sometime the same question will come under 2 also, 3 also, sometime 1 mark question also. You can expect from the same kind of pattern you can expect in your question also. So let's see the different types of question. Now let's read the question first. Mention the parts of human brain which perform the following function. First part is question. There are 5 type of question is given. So 5 type of question is given, and each question answer you need to write. That time you need to put the question number 1 and write the answer of that question. 2, write the answer of that question. Like that you need to approach each question. So here mention the parts of human brain which perform the following function. So when you are reading the question, you need to understand that in this question you don't need to draw the diagram of brain. Diagram of brain you don't need to draw, but you need to specify the answer correctly. So that is only. If the question is asking draw and label the function of different part, that time you need to draw also, you need to label also the particular answer in the diagram. So let's start with the first question. First one is the part that help in performing voluntary action. So in your brain, which part is controlling or performing the voluntary action? I think the answer you got. Anyway, move to the next question. Second question is the part that controls salivation and vomiting. Which part of the brain or which region or which part of the brain is controlling your 2 activity, which is salivation and vomiting? And the third question is the largest part of the forebrain. So which part of the brain is known as largest part of the forebrain? Now fourth one is a fluid that protect the brain. Which fluid? The fluid which is protecting the brain. And last one is meninges. You need to define or explain what is meninges. So these are the 5 questions from the question number 3 or 5 section from the question number C. So each question now I think you got the total is 5 mark. So each question carry 1 mark. Like that 5 mark is assigned. Now, first one, the part that help in performing voluntary action. So before going to the answer, we will just a brief idea. We need to get a brief idea about the brain. So brain means the structure of brain. If you are taking brain, I think all of you know that brain having 3 parts or 3 regions mainly. One is known as forebrain, forebrain. Second one is known as midbrain. And the third one is known as hindbrain. So forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain are the three parts of the brain. Now, first question is the part that help in performing voluntary action. Which part is performing the voluntary action? Mean the forebrain. The forebrain consists of an area which is known as cerebrum. A region in the forebrain which is known as cerebrum, and olfactory lobe also present in the forebrain. In the forebrain, cerebrum, otherwise in the entire brain if you are checking, cerebrum in the forebrain is the that part is controlling the voluntary action in the brain. Voluntary action, I think you got what is voluntary action. Any action which you are able to control. That means when you are walking, when you are talking, running, etc. That means whenever you want to stop that activity, you are able to do it. Such action we can call it as voluntary action. Involuntary means you are not able to control it. For example, heartbeat, your respiration process, digestion. Examples are examples of involuntary action. So, which part is controlling voluntary action? Mean cerebrum present in the forebrain area is controlling the voluntary action. So, first answer is cerebrum. So, here you can see answer of first question is cerebrum. Now, second one, the part that controls salivation and vomiting. When you see salivation and vomiting, we need to see one more thing. We will see the structure of brain now. We can see the structure here. So, which area, otherwise which area in the or which part in the brain is controlling salivation and vomiting process. So, here first answer we mentioned cerebrum. Cerebrum is the part which is controlling the voluntary action. Here you can see this entire region is forebrain. So, in forebrain area, cerebrum is controlling voluntary action. So, second question, which part is or which region is controlling vomiting and salivation? We said that brain having three parts, forebrain, then midbrain, and the third one is hindbrain. Now, midbrain is the part which is controlling or which their function is controlling the involuntary actions, some involuntary action as well as some reflex action. So, vomiting and the salivation is controlled by the part which is present in the hindbrain, which is known as medulla. Okay, and midbrain and the hindbrain are the region which is controlling the involuntary action and some reflex process. So, in this hindbrain and midbrain, we can expect that most of the involuntary action function will be done by the hindbrain areas, also midbrain area. So, our second question asks for, specifically they ask vomiting and the salivation. Who is controlling, which part is controlling? So, answer is, it is controlled by medulla. Medulla is one of the part of hindbrain. Hindbrain having total three parts. One is pons, another one is medulla, and the third one is cerebellum. So, medulla present in the hindbrain is controlling your salivation and vomiting. Now, move to our third question. The largest part of the forebrain. What is our largest part of the forebrain? If you see this diagram, you can easily identify which one will be the largest part. Here, if you see the entire diagram of the brain, you can see that largest part which is cerebrum. So, cerebrum came as an answer for two questions. First of all, voluntary action also controlled by cerebrum, as well as cerebrum is the largest part present in the forebrain. So, third question answer cerebrum. First question also cerebrum. Second question, who is controlling vomiting and salivation? That is medulla, and cerebellum, which is the largest part present in the forebrain. Now, our fourth question is, fourth part of the third question is, a fluid that protects the brain. Which fluid is present in the brain is protecting the brain? So brain is a very, what we can say, brain is a very important organ in our body. If brain is not protected properly, then we know that what will happen after that. So anyway, it should be protected in our body properly. So there are some protective layers and protective fluid will be present in the brain, and question specifically asks which fluid that protect the brain. So fluid which protect the brain is CSF, that means cerebrospinal fluid. So this fluid is present in the 3 layers of brain. If you see the brain after cerebrum, you can see here 3 layers are present. 1, 2, 3 layers you can see. In this layers a fluid is present. That fluid is known as, we can call that fluid CSF. What is the fluid name? Cerebrospinal fluid. Otherwise we can call it as CSF. So answer of the 4th question is cerebrospinal fluid. That means CSF. We can call it as CSF also. See, cerebrospinal fluid is the fluid which is present inside the brain for the protection of brain. I think you got the answer of the 4th one. And the last question, that is the 5th question of the question number 3. Question is meninges. So what is meninges? You don't need to elaborate too much. You need to directly write the answer for all these questions. So here, what does meninges mean? Meninges is the, if you see meninges, it is a 3-layer. Otherwise, it's a 3-layered membrane which is protecting the brain. In the beginning, I already told you that brain is a very important organ in our body. So, brain should be protected. So, cerebrospinal fluid, one fluid is protecting the brain, which is the cerebrospinal fluid, and the layer which is protecting the brain, it is not one layer, it's a 3-layered membrane. You can see here cerebrospinal fluid also present in this area, and also you can see it's a 3-layered membrane. This 3-layered membrane or meninges or 3 membrane covering of the brain. So meninges, if the question is asked what is meninges, you can directly write the answer. Meninges or this is 3 membrane which is covering the brain. So it's a 3-layered membrane which covers the brain. So that is the 4th answer. So anyway, one more time I want to tell you that you don't need to draw the diagram. We just put the diagram to understand the complete structure of the brain and where is all the whatever part we discuss, where it is located. You need to get an idea. That is the reason why we put a diagram also here. But for this question, diagram they are not asked. Question is only asked for answers of specify these answers. So directly you can write the part that help in performing voluntary action, which is known as cerebrum. So you will get 1 mark. Now the part that controls salivation and vomiting, that part is known as, what is that part? Medulla. And the largest part of the forebrain, which is again cerebrum. And 4th question, a fluid that protects the brain, the fluid is known as CSF or cerebrospinal fluid. And our 5th one, meninges. Meninges is a 3-layered membrane structure which is protecting the brain. I think all of you got the answer. If you explain directly these answers, you will get 1 mark for each one, and you can score the full mark 5. So I think we can move to the next question now. So let's see our question number 4. Now see the question number 4. Now the question is asked in 2020, and the question carries 3 marks. And question is, why is chemical communication better than electrical impulses as means of communication between cell in multicellular organism? Multicellular organism means the organism which having more than one cell. Human beings are the one of the example of multicellular organism. So why it is stating that chemical communication is always better than the electrical communication or electrical impulse communication. That means one is hormonal area. I think you got that. What is chemical? Chemical means hormones. Chemical messengers in our body, they are hormones. Why hormones is better than electrical impulse? Electrical impulse means we can state that electrical impulse is a part of our nervous system. So why when we compare these two type of communication in our body, these two type of communication is happening. Otherwise, hormone also controlling different activity in our body, and neuron, our nervous system, is helping for controlling and coordination of different activity which is taking place in our body. Then again, why it is stating that chemical communication will be always better than the electrical communication or electrical impulse communication. Why means chemicals, otherwise hormones are secreting from endocrine glands. We know that our body having different types of endocrine gland. In previous question also we see one endocrine gland which is thyroid gland secreting thyroxine hormone. So such type of different endocrine glands are present in our body. For example, pancreas, testes, ovaries, and pituitary gland. These all are the endocrine gland, and from the gland different types of hormones are releasing. And these hormones are, otherwise this endocrine, all these endocrine glands are known as ductless gland. Why it is known as ductless gland mean these hormones are secreting from the endocrine gland and it is directly secreting to the bloodstream. That means they don't need any other specific tube or duct for transporting the hormone. Directly from the endocrine gland it is secreting to the bloodstream. So that is very what we can say, it's one of the advantage for hormone system. They don't need a separate tube or anything for their transport or communication. They will directly secrete the different types of hormone to the bloodstream. So what will happen mean after it is secreting to the blood, then blood is one of the fluid. It can transport in any area in our body. It can reach any part of our body. So through the blood, wherever the target site is there, the hormone will reach there and they will do their work, whatever work is like each hormone having their specific function. So blood can move to the different body part, and according to our body communication or body signal, this chemical will work on that particular areas. So one advantage is blood can reach into any area. So this is one of the main advantage for our hormone system, or we can say that chemical system. Now, what about electrical impulse or nervous system? Nervous system, there is a limit. What is that limit mean? We want to communicate through electrical impulse from the nervous system. That means brain, spinal cord, all are the parts of which is controlling different activity in our body. So what will happen mean? Nervous system, what is the limit or what is the disadvantage mean? Neuron is, wherever neuron is present, that means in wherever neuron is present, maybe it is present in different organ, different regions and all. So wherever neuron can reach, we can transfer the electrical impulse to that particular area. But in our body, all the area will not have neuron. So that is one of the disadvantage for the nervous system communication or electrical impulse communication. But when we compare the nervous system communication or electrical communication with the hormone or chemical communication, already we said that hormones can reach anywhere in our body because blood is continuously transporting and it is reaching, it is moving to the like all the parts of our body. So this is the one disadvantages of the chemical system. Now, second disadvantage is chemicals or hormone. Their effect will be slow. When the chemicals are moving to one particular region, the hormone, that chemical mean hormone, that hormone effect they will do their function slowly only. But the thing is, if they are doing the slow work, but that work will be long lasting. It is slow action or slow effect, but it will be long lasting. We want something will be long lasting only in our life, right? So that is the reason why we can consider as chemical communication is definitely better than the electrical impulse. When we check with the electrical impulse communication or nervous system communication, the problem is the effect will be very fast or faster effect. Effect is faster, but it will not be a long lasting effect. So we can say effect is fast, but it is not long lasting. So that is the reason, because of all these problems, all these pointers, we can state that chemical communication or hormonal communication is better than the electrical communication. So let's see the pointers now. the answer pointers now. See, answer it is mentioned are chemical. Definitely the chemical communication is better than the electrical impulse. So your answer you need to mention first. Then you need to write the pointers of to state that why it is important. So it include hormone chemical system, including chemical system means that hormone only. It contain hormone or it involve hormonal action. So hormone one advantages because hormone is present in that communication. Second one is it doesn't require specialized tissue such as nerve tissue for signaling occur. We said that chemical is directly transferring. This hormone is directly transferring through blood. So doesn't need any type of specialized tissue like when electrical impulse is transferring. We want for that electric impulse transfer we want a tissue which is known as neuron or nerve tissue. But here nothing we want directly through the blood it is moving. So that is another advantage. That means it doesn't require any specialized tissue or organs. Now third advantage is chemical coordination can occur anywhere in the body while electrical communication restricted to areas that are connected by nerves. I already told that. See, nerve, wherever the nerve is present in that area only we are able to transfer the electrical impulse. So that is one disadvantage of electrical impulse communication or nervous communication. Now last point, chemical coordination can be slow. It will be slow effect only but long lasting. But in the case of electrical coordination it is fast effect but it will be it will not be a long lasting effect. I think you got the answer and we will move to our next question, that means question number 5. Now question number 5 if you see, question carries 3 mark and it is asked in 2020 and the same type of question is every time whenever you are going to the CBSE board exam you will see plant hormone question is one of the very important question in this chapter and we can say that it's a sure question from the chapter. I'm sure about it in this exam also, in the coming your board exam also you will get a question from the part plant hormone. So the question is name the plant hormone and their function. So just now we already discussed about the chemicals or hormones etc. On the basis of our body, otherwise human body. Now we are going to talk about the plant hormones and their function. So plants also secreting lot of hormones or we can call them as plant hormone, and especially in this chapter we need to discuss about 5 type of hormone. One plant hormone is known as, first one we will discuss auxins. First plant hormone we can consider auxin, and the next plant hormone which is gibberellin. Gibberellins, and the third hormone is cytokinin. Cytokinins, and the fourth hormone is abscisic acid. Abscisic acid, and the fifth one is ethylene. These are the different types of hormone, plant hormone present in the plant body: auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic acid, and ethylene. So when you see the functions of each hormone, you can see here in this slide the different functions of hormone. See, auxin is a hormone, one plant hormone, gibberellin is another hormone, cytokinin, abscisic acid, and ethylene. Each of these hormones having specific function. They are not doing a same job. We can say that each one have a particular job in the plant body, otherwise a particular function in the plant body. So what is the function of first hormone, which we said that auxin? What does auxin will do in the plant body? Auxin's function is it will promote cell elongation and phototropism. What does phototropism mean? It is a directional movement. Photo means light. So whenever the plant is moving towards the light, we can say that phototropism is one of the that movement is taking place because it is growing towards the light. That means it is growing towards the stimuli light. So it is like a directional movement. Directional movement means something which is moving towards or away from a stimuli. So phototropism. So it is one of the tropic movement. Now So come to the point, auxin, we said that it is promoting the cell elongation and phototropism. When you see this diagram, here I put a diagram also. Diagram you don't need to draw in this question. Directly you can write the answer and their function. But still, to understand the function, I kept a diagram also here. You can see here a plant is growing, and here you can see sun and the sunlight is coming. So sometime what will happen mean, in the plant body auxin hormone will be there. Whenever a plant we kept in one area, you can see that some branch will bend towards the light. So how it is possible? They want light for doing photosynthesis. For their food preparation process, they need light. So when they are not getting light, or any part of the plant body, if not getting enough amount of light, what will happen mean, that part, otherwise the stem of the plant body will bend towards that direction. So how it is possible? How a plant which is growing straight is suddenly bending to one direction, otherwise direction which is towards the light? How it is possible? So that is possible because of the hormone auxin. Hormone auxin, what will happen mean, this hormone, whenever the plant is in the plant body, if you check the plant body, the shady part of the plant body, that means the light is not getting in that particular region properly, that we can consider it's a shady region in the plant body. So in that region, what will happen mean, auxin, wherever in the plant body auxin is there, the auxin will diffuses into that particular shady region. So what will happen mean, after that what will happen, that auxin will diffuses into that shady region or shady part of the stem. So this auxin causes otherwise what they will do mean, because of the presence of auxin, the plant can bend towards the sunlight. So that is the reason why we can say that auxin, one of the function of auxin is it is helping for phototropism, because it is helping the plant to get enough sunlight, and that is the reason why plant is growing towards the sunlight. Now second function is promote cell elongation. Cell elongation process, because of the cell elongation only this bending process, the growth of the stem is possible. So we can say these are the two functions of auxin. One is promoting cell elongation, another one is phototropism. Now moving to the second hormone, which is gibberellin. What is gibberellin will do? Gibberellin also, their function also related with the stem only, but what they will do mean, stimulate stem elongation. Whenever the stem need to elongate, when stem elongate, what will happen? The height of the plant will increases, right? When the stem elongate, height will increases. So it is helping for elongating the stem, and also seed germination. That means seed germination of seed means from seed the new plant should come out. That process of seedling will come out from the seed, which is known as seed germination. So for these two processes, one is stem elongation, another one is seed germination. The hormone which is responsible, that is gibberellin. Our second hormone, gibberellin. Now third one is cytokinin. What cytokinin will do? What is the function of cytokinin mean? This is a hormone which promotes cell division. In our body, cell division is continuously happening. In the case of human body also, and in the case of plant body also, whenever growth, repairing of the body tissue happening, that time cell division will take place, right? Cell, not elongation, cell division will take place. Now come to the third hormone, which is cytokinin. So what is the function of cytokinin? The plant hormone cytokinin means cytokinin promotes cell division and also delay aging of leaf. So cell division means in our body also, plant body also, cell division is continuously happening, and that is the reason why we are growing, and our different types of growth activities taking place, our repairing of the body, so many activities are taking place, we are able to reproduce. So many things are taking place because cell division is the thing which is helping to make a new cell, which is and because of that only we are able to grow. All these processes are taking place. So cell division is one of the main important processes in all the organisms body. So cell division, the cell division is taking place in the plant body also, and for the cell division, cytokinin hormone is very, very important. So, cell division, where is cell division is happening? In the plant body, mainly cell division is happening in two parts, which we can say fruit and seed, because it's a what we can say, it's a product of reproduction, fruit and seed, and in these two regions the cell division is rapidly taking place, and so in such a region, the amount of cytokinin will be more, and the cell division is taking place in other parts also. So in the plant body, cell division is taking place with the action or with the help of the hormone cytokinin. And third one is delay of aging of leaves. When the leaves fall off, it will be a problem, right? If the process is, because of the cytokinin, if the delay of aging of leaf is taking place, it is good for the plants, right? They can keep the leaves little more time in their body, plant body. So that process also taking place with the help of the hormone cytokinin. So two functions for cytokinin. One is promote cell division, and rapid cell division is taking place in the fruit and the seed region, and delay aging of leaves. These two are the function of the third hormone, which is, we can call it as cytokinin. Now move to the fourth one. So fourth hormone, what the name of fourth one, we can say ABA, otherwise abscisic acid. The short form of abscisic acid is ABA. Now, what does abscisic acid mean? Abscisic acid is one of the inhibiting hormone. When we say auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, these all hormones we discussed already. They are growth promoters, helping for growth, mainly the growth of the plant. That is, we can call them as growth promoter. But abscisic acid is considering as growth inhibiting hormone. And what is the function of abscisic acid mean? This ABA inhibit the growth of the plant. That means they are responsible to stop the growth of a plant. After that, plant can't grow properly. So abscisic acid is growth inhibiting hormone, and their function is it inhibit the growth of the plant. Now, and also abscisic acid is induces dormancy. What is dormancy? I think everybody knows that what is dormancy. In the case of plant, different types of plant, there is a particular period in which growth will stop. That period in which the growth, after that period, that growth will take place also. But a particular period, plant will grow, their growth will completely stop. That period we can consider or we can call it as dormancy period of the plant. In that period, plant, none of the growth process will happen in the plant body. So it is because of the hormone abscisic acid. So two functions for abscisic acid. One is they are inhibiting the growth of the plant and also induces the dormancy period of the plant. So this is the function of abscisic acid. Now, abscisic acid, you can expect one mark question also from the same area. You will get one mark question also. Each one function MCQ question will, which is the growth inhibiting hormone. Options will come auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic acid, and that time you can easily select abscisic acid is a inhibiting hormone. Other three which we said, that is a growth promoting hormone. Now, our last hormone or fifth one, which is ethylene. Before ethylene, I want to say something. This picture, I think you see this picture. This is wilting of leaves. That means leaves will fall off after some time, and it will like wilt. That entire wilting picture you can identify here. This wilting process is one of the function of abscisic acid. The wilting, that growth is not happening properly. That is the reason why the wilting of leaf is taking place. That is, we can consider it is a function of abscisic acid. So this picture, keep it in your mind. Wilting of leaf is also happening because of the presence of abscisic acid. Now, move to the next hormone or fifth hormone, which is ethylene. Now, what does ethylene function mean? Ethylene is promoting ripening of fruits. When fruit form after the reproduction, sexual reproduction, the fruit is a byproduct of the reproduction. We can say it like that. So, after fruit forms in the plant body, fruits need to ripen. So, that ripening process is happening, or it is taking place because of the plant hormone, which is known as ethylene. So these all are the functions of different types of plant hormone. If you see the question, you can see that here in the question is mentioned that name the plant hormone and their function. Now we already saw all the plant hormone, and each plant hormone you need to specify the function. Function will be particular with particular, and it is specific, and it will not be same. So we need to understand that each hormone having different function. So you need to write each hormone name first and their function. Then your answer is done. So this is about our this question, and I think this understood. The pointers I think given here, I think you can note down now in your notebook, in your paper, wherever you are noting out all the point, you can note down easily from these pointers all the functions of hormone and different types of hormone present in the plant. Now move to the next question. Question number 6. You can see the question number 6 here. It is repeated 2 times, that is 2024 and 2020. 2 times it is repeated and it is a 2-mark question. And let's see the question. Question is, how are involuntary action and reflex action different from each other? See, involuntary action and reflex action. What is the difference between involuntary action and reflex action? You need to give the pointers. So the thing is, it's a 2-mark question, minimum 2 points for each you need to write, and 1 example also you need to add it, so it will be enough for 2 marks. So question is, how are involuntary action, reflex action different from each other? So we'll go first with involuntary action. So involuntary action, when we discuss about the structure of brain and the parts of brain, that time we said that there are 2 types of action which is controlling mainly by brain, which is voluntary actions and involuntary action. Voluntary actions are which we can control it, such as our talking, walking, etc. And involuntary action, that is not, we are not able to control it. For example, heartbeat, we can, best example is heartbeat for involuntary action. So such action, we can call it as involuntary action. Now second one is reflex action. What is reflex action? Reflex action is a very sudden actions. And involuntary action is controlled by brain. When we discuss about brain, we said that brain having 3 regions. Forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. And that time we said that involuntary actions are taking place also in the brain, and medulla is one of the part which is controlling involuntary action as well as the reflex action. Not every reflex action. Medulla is controlling few reflex action of neck, eyes, etc. That is only controlled by brain, the reflex action of neck, eyes, etc. which is controlled by medulla. But the question is asking, what is difference between reflex and the involuntary action? All the involuntary actions are controlled by brain, but reflex action controlled by not brain, it is controlled by our spinal cord. Now this reflex action means it is a sudden, very fast action which is taking place in the body. For example, if we say, if you touch any hot object, what we can say, you will withdraw your hand. That is one of the example of a reflex action. So when the reflex action, there should be a sudden, otherwise sudden response should come. Right? Whenever you can't keep your hand for a long period of time, then what will happen? See, think about it. So it should be it definitely, or it must be a very sudden action. So in such a situation, this sudden action is possible because the signals, whatever electrical impulse are formed in your body, it is directly going to the part which is known as spinal cord. Brain and the spinal cord both are the part of our central nervous system, and the spinal cord is receiving the impulses from the reflex action. So in such cases, the impulse will directly go to the spinal cord, and spinal cord is giving the response to the particular region or particular organ. And then we will do our, whatever action is our response, we will do that also. So we can consider the main differences. One is controlled by brain, another one is controlled by the spinal cord. One is not like a very sudden actions, and another one is like a very sudden, very fast action which is controlled by the spinal cord. So these are the 2 differences. So let's see the pointers also. See, when you see the pointers, you can see the answers here. Involuntary and reflex. It's a 2-mark question, so you don't need to too much elaborate the answer. See, according to the mark, you can write the points. So see the points here. Involuntary, controlled by brain. What is the organ controlling the involuntary action? Brain. And which part is controlling that involuntary action? Mainly medulla and hindbrain is controlling the involuntary actions. Now, for example, respiration is an involuntary action. Digestion is an involuntary action. These all are controlled by medulla and hindbrain. Mainly medulla and hindbrain. Hindbrain, 3 regions are there. One is we can say medulla is one of the part of the hindbrain, and pons and one is cerebellum. These 3 are the part of the hindbrain, and medulla, or we can say the part of the hindbrain which is controlling the involuntary action. Now come to the reflex action. Reflex action is controlled. It's not controlled by the brain. Reflex action is controlled by the part which is known as spinal cord. Both are, brain and spinal cord is a part of central nervous system. Now, come to the second point, slower compared to the reflex action. I already told you that reflex action is a sudden action. Very fast it is taking place when we compare with the involuntary action. I told you with one example. So, if you touch anything, we like a hot object also, we can't keep our hands for a long period of time. That's the best example. So, it's like a very fast, very quick actions, right? So, these actions are very fast. Reflex action will be very fast. But involuntary action will not be that much fast when we compare with the reflex action. So, it's like a slower compared to the reflex action, but here faster as they bypass the brain. Why it is stating that faster as they bypass the brain mean when impulse formed, when the electrical impulse formed, when you touch any object, even this receptor receive the signal, that time when the impulse if it is need to go to the brain, it will take time. So, what will happen mean it will not go to the brain, it will directly go to the spinal cord. So, easy, otherwise not easy, very fast response will come because it's not going to the brain. So, that is the reason why very faster response as they bypass the brain. Now, example you can give heartbeat, digestion are the examples of involuntary action, and example for the reflex action, which is withdrawing hand from a flame. So, these two are the examples for involuntary action and reflex action. I think it is clear for everybody. It's like it is a 2-mark question. See, it's a 2-mark question, and you need to write the difference. So, make a box. It will be better for you and it will be easy for you. If you are making a box, you can easily get the points. First point again, one is controlled by brain. But the part medulla or hindbrain is controlling the involuntary action, and reflex action is controlling the spinal cord. It is not controlled by the brain. Next point, if you see, one is slower action. The actions will be very slower when we compare with the reflex action. Reflex is very sudden or very fast action. Now, any one example if you give, it will be enough for the 2-mark question. So, this is about reflex action and the involuntary action. I think you got the points about these two. I mean difference about these two. So, let's move to our 7th question. Question is asked in 2024 and 2020, and here you can see that it is a 3-mark question. Markers or weightage of this question is 3 mark. And asked in 2 years, that means latest only 2024 also, 2020 also this question is asked. So, what is the question? Come to the question now. What are tropic movement? Name 2 type of tropic movement in plants. What is tropic movement? When we discuss about auxin, we said that auxin is responsible for the phototropism. Then I said, that time I said that it is one of the trophic movement also. So, what does trophic movement mean? Trophic movement is this movement we can say trophic movement is a directional movement. It is a directional movement, and they are growth dependent movement. Directional and growth dependent movement, these are the main 2 point about tropic movement. Tropic movement mean when any stimuli come. For example, any changes. For example, light is one of the stimuli, water is one of the stimuli, and if according to these stimuli's direction, if any plant is going towards the stimuli or sometime away from the stimuli, that means it is always the movement is taking place in the plant body, some in response to a stimuli. So, tropic movement mean it is a movement, right? So, what kind of movement mean? The movement in response to a stimuli, such a movement all we can call it as tropic movement. Why I mentioned that directional movement mean it is according to the direction of stimuli. Sometimes away from the stimuli, sometimes towards the stimuli. So, such a movement, because of the it is depending on the direction of the stimuli, we can consider it is a directional. All the tropic movements are directional movement. Now, what type of, and they are growth dependent. These movements are taking place because growth should take place. So, according to that particular stimuli, growth is taking place to the plant body, and for that growth different type of movement is taking place. So, such a movement we can call it as tropic movement. Now, what are the different type of tropic movement? If you see in this chapter, there are different types of tropic movement is discussing. So, what all are the different type of tropic? Such a type of tropic movement mean We can say one is, already we said that, phototropism. When we discuss about auxin hormone, we said that phototropism is occurring in the plant body because of the presence of auxin hormone. So phototropism. Second one is geotropism. And third one is hydrotropism. Hydrotropism and chemotropism. These kinds of movements are, we can consider different type of tropic movement. That means they are moving in response to a one particular stimuli. Now, phototropism, what will be the stimuli? It will be light, right? It will be light. Geotropism means geo. It will be gravity. According to the gravity, plants are moving. So, it will be geotropism. Hydrotropism means according to hydro, water. Now, chemotropism means according to chemicals. So, according to these kind of different type of stimuli, if the plant is moving, then we can consider that movement is a phototropism. It will be, if it is growing, growth is taking place in response to a gravity, we can consider geotropism. If it is moving, the plant is movement is taking place according to the water direction, then we can call it as hydrotropism. And chemotropism means according to the presence of chemical. So these are the different type of tropic movement which is taking place in the plant body. So what are tropic movement? We said that it is a directional movement, growth dependent movement. It is the movement is taking place, such kinds of movement is taking place in response to a stimuli. So I think you will get for that answer 1 mark. It's a 3-mark question. So if you explain what are tropic movement, you will get 1 mark. Now name 2 type of tropic movement in plant. So 2 type you need to mention, and you need to give 1 or 2 points about the 2 type of movement. So one mark for each. If you explain any 2 type of tropic in this one, any 2 you can explain. I said a few points also. And if you explain 2, you will get 1 mark for each. So like that 3-mark question. So we will see the answer now. See. First, you need to explain what is tropic movement. So, tropic movements are directional movement, and this movement is directional growth movement in response to external stimuli. We said that what all are the external stimuli will be present in different type of tropic movement. Now, here it is explained 2 type of tropic movement. One is phototropism, another one is geotropism. That means phototropism means movement which is taking place in response to a stimuli. Otherwise, the growth is taking place in response to light, we can say. And example also, you need to mention 1 example. If the question is asked to explain phototropism, geotropism, you can give 1 example. So always we know that phototropism, which part of the plant is growing towards the light? It's always, definitely it will be stem, right? So here stem is growing towards the light. That is one of the example of phototropism. So this is very important. Phototropism, 1 example, stem growing towards the light. So it's a positive phototropism, right? Something is going in the same direction of light, it will be positive phototropism. Something is going in the opposite direction or otherwise away from the stimuli direction, it will be negative phototropism. So which part of the plant body is doing negative phototropism? Think about it. Which part of the plant body is growing opposite direction of light? It will be root. See, so we can say stem growing towards the light, that means stem is showing positive phototropism and root is showing negative phototropism because it is growing in the opposite direction of sunlight. Now, come to the second tropic movement, which is geotropism. Geotropism, gravity, towards the gravity's direction, in the same direction of gravity, which a plant body is growing, which is root. That part is root. Definitely it will be root only. So growth is in response to gravity. Explanation of phototropism, geotropism, you can write growth in response to gravity. Otherwise movement which is taking place in response, in the direction of gravity, in response to the gravity. So such a movement we can consider geotropism. In geotropism also you can mention positive geotropism and negative geotropism. Positive geotropism means any part which is growing in the direction of or moving in the direction of gravity, that is root. So root is showing positive geotropism, and which what will be going in the opposite direction of gravity? It will be stem, right? So stem is showing the negative geotropism. Here examples also mention about geotropism. Roots growing downward. That means root is growing in the direction of gravity, positive. So keep it in your mind. It is an example of positive geotropism also, and stem is an example of negative geotropism. But question is, it's a direct kind of question. Question directly asked, give what is or define or what is tropic movement. We explain it is a directional movement in response to external stimuli. And the second part of the question was name two type of tropic movement in the plant. So any tropic movement you can mention. I mentioned so many different types of tropic movement: phototropism, geotropism, hydrotropism, chemo. So in this, out of this four, any two you can write. Here phototropism and geotropism also mention. An example also mention. Shall we move to the next question now? So let's see our next question. And here, before that, here a diagram also given. In this diagram it is very visible. So see, negative geotropic, that means stem is negative. Just now we said stem is negative geotropic because it's opposite side it is growing, and here it is showing that root is positive side of geotropism. So let's just keep an idea through this diagram also, whatever we explained just now. Okay, then we will move to the next question. See the next question now. Question number 8. So this question is, it is asked in 2020, and this question carries 3 marks. Asked in 2020 and the question carries 3 marks. And what is this question? A cheetah, on seeing a prey, moves towards him at a very high speed. What causes the movement of his muscles? Does the chemistry of cellular component of muscle change during this event? So when cheetah see a prey, whatever, when cheetahs, we know that what is one peculiarity or one character of cheetah, right? It can run very fast. And when cheetah see a prey, what is happening, or because of what cheetah can run, or cheetah can identify its prey and it can run very fast? So it is because of two systems. There is coordination of two systems is there. One is nervous system also working there, and also our chemical system also working there. So what is happening in such a kind of situation mean this situation is a emergency situation, right? It is an emergency situation. It's like a stressful situation. Whenever we are in these kinds of situation, our body will releases hormones also. Our nervous system will be very active also in that time. So in this in such cases, when we check cheetah's body, what will happen mean? Cheetah senses the prey by photoreceptors. Photoreceptors are present inside the eye, and these receptors take light, and it will convert the light into electrical impulses or signals, electrical signals. So what will happen mean? The photoreceptors present in the eyes senses the prey or senses the signal which is coming out from the external environment, which is light, and they will that information sent to the central nervous system, and this response is carried by neuron. So whenever cheetah sees, otherwise they identify a prey, that light will come to the eyes, and this photoreceptor will send to the signal to the central nervous system, and they identify the prey. And after that, what will, and this thing is, the full information is traveling through the tissue which is known as neuron, otherwise nerve, we can consider nerve tissue. So it is, this process will take place, and they got to know, okay, this is my prey. So what will happen next mean, along with the nervous system, the hormonal system also plays a role. So what will happen mean, nervous system, I said, with the help of neuron, with the help of photoreceptor, they identified the prey, and after that hormone system also plays a role in this in the same emergency situation. So what is the role of hormone system mean? One gland which is present in our body is known as emergency gland. That gland name is adrenal gland. What is the gland name? Adrenal gland, we can consider it is a emergency gland. Emergency gland. And this gland, what this gland will do mean, in such a emergency situation, this adrenal gland, otherwise our hormonal system will active, and the emergency gland called adrenal gland will work that time properly, otherwise it will be active in that time and they will release a hormone. It is known as adrenaline. So in whatever emergency situation we are going through, for example, when you are going to the one exam in a stressful condition, what will happen means this gland will releases one hormone which is known as adrenaline hormone. So it will releases the chemical or hormone, adrenaline hormone, and adrenaline hormone will spread in the body through the blood. We know that blood is transmitting all the hormone because it's directly secreting to the bloodstream. So blood will transport the adrenaline hormone to the different region of cheetah. So on seeing a prey, these hormones are released into the cheetah's bloodstream. That means adrenaline hormone will releases from adrenal gland. It speeds up heartbeat, breathing increased, or blood flow, breathing rate will increases and blood flow will increases, and it will reach into the leg muscles. That means leg muscles in the case especially for cheetah, and cause liver to put more stored glucose in cheetah's blood. So what will happen mean, because of the presence of the adrenaline hormone, this cheetah's body, the heart rate will fast, otherwise it will beat very faster, blood flow will be faster, the rate of blood flow will increases, and also the blood flow of leg also increases because of the presence of adrenaline hormone. And what will happen mean, more amount of glucose also added in cheetah's blood. So if more amount of glucose is added because of the adrenaline hormone in cheetah's blood, if glucose is present, more energy will be there, right? So cheetah will get more energy because of the function of adrenaline hormone. These all action happening because of the presence of adrenaline hormone which is released from adrenal gland. If more hormone, more energy, if it is there in your body, what will be happen? You can do the activity very faster, right? So cheetah can run very faster behind its prey. So all these actions of adrenaline hormone produces a lot of energy which help the cheetah to run faster. So these all nervous communication also, chemical communication also taking place. Keep in your mind, especially you need to mention that in these kinds of emergency situation, the importance of adrenaline gland and importance of adrenal gland and importance of adrenaline hormone you have to mention. So think about it, what hormone is released by adrenal gland, which is adrenaline, and if adrenaline gland releases to the blood stream, what all of the changes will take place in the body, and because of that changes, energy will be more in the body, and the activity in that particular situation we can manage it. Otherwise, because of all these changes, cheetah's body will be prepared for that emergency situation. So it is helping us to prepare, or otherwise it is helping us to manage or adjust in a particular emergency situation. And that hormone is known as emergency hormone, and the gland is known as emergency gland, which is adrenal gland. I think the answer is clear. And see the question here, if you see the question, it is a 3-mark question. So you need to mention first what will happen in the body, why the high speed cheetah is running very faster. That reason you need to write, because glucose, more amount of glucose is there. How the glucose is produced more, because of which hormone you need to mention, and how the muscle can also with the help of muscle, how muscle movement also taking place very faster, that you need to mention. And what is the chemistry of cellular component, that means what all are the hormone, the chemical components are helping for this. These all, if you explain it properly as a point, if you are writing the answer, don't write elaborate too much, particular point you write, and you can see the keywords also here: adrenal gland, adrenaline hormone, and here nervous system. These kinds of things, if you explain it, you will learn photoreceptors also, you will get the full mark, that is 3 mark. So now move to the next question now. See, our next question is, this question carries 3 mark. I think you see the question. It is asked in 2015 and it's like a direct question. You can see this question. And this question also coming under mainly endocrine gland region. Gland and hormone is very important. Again, I am telling to every children, see, without studying plant hormone and its function and also endocrine, different and human endocrine gland and function, location, don't go for the exam. It is a sure question from the chapter. That's the reason why repeatedly we are getting different type of hormone questions. Now see the question. It is 3-mark question, so see the question. Name the hormone required for the following. Also mention the name of endocrine gland from which that hormone is secreted. So each question you need to write the name of the hormone. That means function of some hormones are given. So you need to identify, okay, this hormone's function is this one. And second part is you need to write the name of the gland also. So each question, if you write here hormone name and their gland name, you will get 1 mark. Like that each question carry 1 mark. So total 3 mark. So let's see the question. So first question is lowering of blood glucose. Which hormone is lowering the blood glucose? That means which hormone is responsible which hormone is responsible to maintain the glucose level in your body. If the glucose increases in your body, what problem will come? So who will maintaining the glucose level and which hormone and that hormone is released from which endocrine gland. So this is like that you need to write the answer. Lowering of blood glucose mean a gland which is present in our body and they are releasing a hormone which is controlling or maintaining the glucose level. That gland, we can say that the name of that gland is pancreas. What is the gland name? It is pancreas, and pancreas is releasing the hormone which is known as insulin. So the hormone which is controlling the sugar level in your body, which is insulin, and the gland which is releasing the insulin hormone in your body, which is pancreas. Now move to the next question. Development of our mustache and beard in human male. So it will be definitely these two character will be taking place because of the presence of sex hormone, right? Because these two characters are seen in the male body only, the mustaches and the beard, and we can consider these two are one of the secondary sexual character of male body which is differentiating the male and female body. So which hormone will be responsible for the development of mustache and another one is beard. So who will do that? The hormone which is released from a gland, that gland is known as testis, and it is releasing the male sex hormone which is known as testosterone. So testis is a gland, it's a gonad which is releasing the sex hormone. It's an endocrine gland, it's a male reproductive part. We can consider as a gonad also, as a gonad, because they are in one of the endocrine gland which is releasing also hormone, right? So and in the case of female body, ovaries are releasing the sex hormone, so ovary also considering as an endocrine gland, right? So here question is specifically asked because of which hormone mustaches and beard is developing in the body of male or growing in the body of male. So it is because of the hormone testosterone, and it is released from the endocrine gland called testis. Now move to the next question. Metabolism of carbohydrate, fat and protein. Similar kind of question we discussed I mean in the beginning part of the session also. And who will do the metabolic activity of our food items, carbohydrate, fat and protein? That hormone is known as thyroxine, and it is released from the gland called thyroid gland. Thyroxine hormone, and it is released from the gland known as thyroid gland. So let's see the answer. If you see the answer, before answer you can see a diagram also here. And you can see different type of glands are mentioned here. So for your understanding, let's see. Thyroid gland, which is controlling the metabolism of carbohydrate, fat and protein, which is present in your neck region, and the gland is producing which hormone? Thyroxine hormone. And here you can see that just now we said pancreas gland, which is present in your abdominal region, and pancreas gland is secreting the hormone insulin, which is controlling your sugar level in your body. And the question was, who's controlling the secondary sexual characters such as development of mustaches, beard, etc., which is that gland is testis and it is releasing the hormone testosterone. I think you see other glands also. Pituitary gland is there, master gland in the body, and adrenal gland. We said that adrenaline hormone release, ovary, and few hormone location also you can see from this slide. And move to the pointers now. See, first answer, the hormone that lower the blood sugar level in the body, that is insulin. And insulin, if you see insulin, it will control the blood sugar level. If the pancreas is not able to produce enough amount of insulin, then you will get affected with a disease or a condition, we can call it as diabetes, right? Now see, it will control the blood sugar level in your body. Blood sugar level in your body, and how it will convert that glucose into the glycogen. So in that way, sugar level will go down. Now see, pancreas is the gland which is releasing insulin, which is pancreas. Inside the pancreas there is a region known as islets of Langerhans. From that region only this pancreas gland is secreting the insulin hormone. Move to the next. Testis, it's an endocrine gland which is releasing the male sex hormone, which is known as testosterone, which is responsible for the development of male sex organ as well as male features such as deeper voice, mustaches, beard and body hairs, etc. Now C answer, if you see third question answer, thyroxine hormone, the hormone thyroxine which is synthesized from the gland, thyroid gland, and the function is it controlling the metabolism of carbohydrate, fat and protein. So I think you got to know that what are the points you need to include for this 3-mark question. So move to our last question, that means question number 10. See this question, it's asked in 2015 and you can see here this question is asked in 2015 and it is a 3-mark question. So see, there is 2 parts for this question, section A and section B. 2 parts are there. Question A is name one gustatory receptor and one olfactory receptor in human being. And second part of this question is write A and B in the given flowchart of neuron through which information travel as an electrical impulse. So see the flowchart here, 2 parts of neuron is mentioned and A and B is given here. You need to fill A and B. That means through neuron, which all are the part is helping to transfer, otherwise in order you need to write how the electrical impulse is transferring. So that you need to fill it here also. So if we see the mark distribution, it's a 3-mark question. A part carries 1 mark. That means if you mention gustatory receptor, one example you will get half mark, and olfactory receptor if you mention then you will get half mark. Like that 1 mark distribution. And here you can see write A and B. If you write the correct, if you correctly write the answer of A and B, you will get 2 mark also. So like this the answer, the mark distribution is given. So let's see the answer. First one, name one gustatory receptor and one olfactory receptor in human being. What does gustatory receptor mean? The gustatory receptors are the receptor responsible for taste. Okay, so the receptor, if it is responsible for the taste, then where it will be present? Think about it. It will be present, definitely it will be present in our, on our tongues only, right? So, in our tongue, taste buds will be there, and inside the taste bud, gustatory receptor will be present. And it is responsible to identify different types of taste. And second one is olfactory receptor. So olfactory receptor mean in human being where is the olfactory receptor is present. Olfactory receptors are receptor which is identifying the smell. So where it will be present? It will be present, definitely it will be present in our nose, right? So that means nasal chambers, it will be nasal cavity, nasal chambers, it will be present. So answer of A question is, we can see the answer of A question now. See the answer. Gustatory receptors are the receptors for taste, and it is it is present in the taste bud, on tongue, and olfactory receptors are the receptor for smell, identifying the smell, and it is present in our nasal chambers. So answer, I think you got the answer of the first one for the name the gustatory receptor present in our body and olfactory receptor. Now next question is, in the given flow chart, A is cytone and B is axon. Already answer is, I said the answer, it is cytone and axon. How? So already in the flow chart it is mentioned that dendrite and endpoint neuron. See, if you see the neuron diagram, you can see that easily. If you see the neuron diagram, already in one question we discuss about neuron. And here myelin sheath is there. Here myelin sheath is there, which is covering the axon, and the long axon will go, it will branch out, branches will come. We can call it as nerve ending or axonite or axon terminal. You can call them as axon terminal also. And here branches will come. Now see, if you see this diagram, you can see that this is cell body. Cell body, otherwise known as cytone. You can see cytone. And a B part is mentioned. Answer of B part, it is axon. That means this long tube, which is known as axon. In the beginning one question we said that electrical impulse is transferring through the long tube, which is known as axon. So how the flow chart, how you will fill it mean dendrite, the branches, these are dendrite, which is receiving the electrical signals, and the beginning part or the first part in the neuron structure or nerve cell, the part which is receiving the signal, electrical signal, which is dendrite. So dendrite receive the signal, and after that what will happen mean it will go to the, from dendrite it will go to the dendron region. Otherwise we can say directly it will go to this region, which is cell body. Right, cell body, otherwise cytone. And from the cytone it will move to the long chain, otherwise long tube, which will be axon. And at last it will go through the axon and it will reach at the end. And already is mentioned that end point of neuron. So it will reach to the end point of neuron. We can consider it as nerve ending, otherwise we can call it as axon terminal also, axonite also. It's otherwise known as axonite also. So from the dendrite it will move to the axon cell body region or cytone region, then it will go through the axon region. At last it will reach to the nerve ending region or axonite region. So this is the answer for 3-mark question. I think you can see the answer. You need to mention properly, specifically only write it. You don't need to write too much about gustatory receptor, because it's directly asking. If you see the question, it is directly asking name it. Name one gustatory. Only one gustatory you need to mention it, and one olfactory, and directly A and B. When you are writing A and B, flow chart also just put it in your paper and fill it A and B. Then that order it will come very, what we can say, it will come very properly also. So this is about the 10th question answer. So I think this session is it will be very useful for you, and go through all the question, because all these questions are repeatedly asked question. Without studying hormonal area, neuron part, nervous system region, functions of different types of human hormone, plant hormone, don't go for the exam, because it's like a sure question. Definitely you can expect few questions from this chapter, and this chapter total weightage is 6 marks. Again I am reminding you, everybody, go through all these kind of topic mainly from this chapter, and go through the diagrams also, go with the brain diagram and neuron diagram, etc., and identify the different parts and functions also. I think it will help you for getting the full weightage of 6 marks in your board exam. I think we can wind up right now. We will see in next series and all. You can wait for the upcoming board preparation series, and stay tuned. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.